Welcome to the Michael Singer Podcast, presented by Sounds True, in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information about Michael Singer's work, access to all prior episodes, and information about upcoming releases, we invite you to join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Masters. There are many different levels of waking up. One very, very major level of waking up is when you realize that the outside world and your inside world are completely separate. They're tied together because you tie them together. They're not tied together. The outside world has been going on for 4.5 billion years on this planet. They say something like, 13.8 billion everywhere, at least since the Big Bang. Let's just stay with the planet. That's close enough. 4.5 billion years. How long have you been here? How long are you going to be here? 70, 80, 90? 4.5 billion? 70, 80, 90. It has nothing to do with you. You drop down onto a place that was created by itself 4.5 billion years ago. It's evolved through everything, the whole evolution story. And then you're here, it's not even a blink of an eye, is it? And not only is that true, but it's going on everywhere. I keep trying to talk to you about this, and I don't know whether you're willing to listen, right? It's not just going on where you are, is it? Now you're here. Okay, is it going on anywhere else? How many other places is it going on? 700 billion zillion. And that's just on the planet. And let's not talk about the rest of the thing. Okay? It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with itself. It has to do with the force of creation. It has to do with evolution. It has to do with planetary science. It has to do with where all the other planets are and the power of the sun to hold ground. It has to do with so many things that have nothing to do with you. I'm going to say it. Look at me. It has nothing to do with you. If you're going to be here for 60, 70, 80 years, and it's been here for 4.5 billion, and it's happening everywhere, and at any given moment, you're only in one spot, it's not about you. Has nothing to do with you. The part that does have something to do with you is inside of you that's making it have something to do with you. This person looks at that person and says, oh, I really like him. Somebody looks at somebody else, I don't like him. What is that? That's not something outside. Everybody's the same. I mentioned it last night. A friend of ours had a baby the other day. She sent me a picture, just hours after the birth, shortly after the birth. But I didn't see what you all see. I looked at that thing. Where did it come from? And don't you dare tell me people made love. No, that is not where it came from. The closest you can get there is a single fertilized cell. Is that where it came from? Listen to me. A single fertilized cell knew how to make itself into that baby, with eyes and ears and nose and crying and arms and legs. No, listen to me. I know you don't think that's the truth. I had somebody tell me when I said that, oh, that's not true. It is true. There was nothing else added. Well, the mother ate food. How did it know how to take that food and turn it into a baby? How did it know how to take water and sunshine and milk and Fritos and Cheetos and Twiggies and Coca-Cola and molecularly break that down into atoms and molecules that put themselves together to come out as a baby? That's what happened. It came out of nothing. It just, boom, manifested. What does science tell you? They tell you that, but they tell you in a way as if they know what they're talking about. Oh, DNA molecules. The DNA has these genes. What are genes? Molecules, atoms. So the atoms know how to make a baby. What if you were sitting here? There's atoms all over the place, right? And while you're watching, they just start going, and there's a baby. That's what happened. Now, you mothers, you don't like that. Like, say, that's my baby. I made the baby. You did not. I was playing around, right? A nice mother, you made your baby. Make me an eyeball. I'll give you as much money as you want for as long as you want. Make me an eyeball. Just an eyeball. Forget the kidney, the liver, the pancreas. This is what it means to wake up. It's not about knowledge or study. It's about realization of the reality in the world in which you live. So I go back to, it's been doing that for 4.5 billion years. So Darwin talked about evolution. Religious people have trouble with evolution. It's the miracle of how God created the universe. We started off with plankton in the water or something, right? Protozoas running around. And then over time, wow, y'all showed up. How did that happen? Did you do it? How much of that did you do? I'm going to pick on your ego for a little bit. So it's been here for 4.5 billion years. You're going to be here for 80, 90. It's happening everywhere, all the time. And you're only experiencing the exact moment where you are. Do you know anything? I've asked you over and over, asked you this. Do you know anything? You better say no. You do not know anything. Why? Because you only know what you've experienced. You don't know a single thing about what you haven't experienced. And reading books is experiencing. I'm not taking that away from you. All right? So how much have you experienced of what there is to experience? Nothing. You're only experiencing the moment you're experiencing. You're missing all the other moments. Are the things going on in France? Things going on in Italy? Not just in Italy, at a spot in Italy, just like you're in a spot here. Is it not going on everywhere? Are you experiencing those things? No. Therefore, what you know is statistically insignificant. But I've had many moments. Yes, you're like a laser beam shining in the night. You're just going through one tiny little fragment, missing everything else. And then you tie together the little nothing that you've experienced and say, I know what I'm doing. But you do worse than that. That's where the inside comes. The outside is just real. It's real. Don't worry about it. It's there. It's been happening forever. They say the sun will shine for another 4.5 billion years. You don't have to worry. You'll only be here for 80 or 90 or 100. Wake up. But you can't. Why? Because that is the reality of the outside. Is it not? It's always been. It will always be. It will continue doing its thing. It doesn't need you. The planets don't need you to stay in orbit. Which one of you keep the planets in orbit? Which one of you light the 300 billion suns, stars, in your galaxy? Which one of you create the 2 trillion galaxies with hundreds of billions of stars in each one of them? Are you busy? Are you worn out? Some people tell me I'm tired. You're not doing anything. You're not doing 100 billion trillion zillionth of what's going on. And yet you think you're it, man. You're it, man. In order to feel the reality of your being, you better start feeling small. Because what you've done is made up something that is so small. It only lasts 90 years. It's only in one place at a time. It's missed every single thing in creation all the time. But yet inside, you've done something very, very interesting, which has nothing to do with the outside. You make up that it does. Okay? That's my baby. I'm sorry, it's not your baby. It's life's baby. Life made it. Evolution made it. God made it. Whatever you want. To me, is all God. That's just a word. I'm fine with science. I love science. We've talked about it before. They've gone all the way down. They don't even accept that there's atoms. A scientist nowadays, there are no atoms. There's electron, neutrons, and protons. They act like atoms. It's not like there's an atom and electron, neutrons, and protons. There's electron, neutrons, and protons. They act in a way that we call them atoms. There's nothing added to it that makes it an atom. It's like if I took water or steam. I take steam. There's steam, there's water, there's ice. Same. Just how fast they're vibrating. So you have electron, neutron, proton. We do our physics class. I'm going to go further than you want to. You were taught there's atoms. Okay, then you're taught electron, neutron, protons. Fine. And they behave, they circle. We used to paint it as though they electrons circle around the nucleus. They don't. But in any event, you can look at it that way. And that's what they're doing. And because they do that, and because there's a different number of electrons and neutrons and protons, they make the periodic table. And the periodic table is the molecules, the atoms that you have, you put them together, and you guys show up. All the form is made of that. The furthest galaxies, every single thing. But then the scientists looked and they said, well, where did the electron, neutron, and protons come from? They have the right to ask that. Just like, where did the baby come from? Where did the electron, neutron, and protons come from? And they looked really, really closely, and they built these giant colliders, miles long, out in CERN in Switzerland, and 26 miles underground, something like that. And they bombard protons against each other at the speed of light. And they hit, and they notice they're not elementary particles. They break apart for a trillionth of a second, right? Their nature pulls themselves together, but they break apart. And that's quantum physics. When they get down, they start looking at those broken parts, and they give them names: quarks, leptons, bosons, and so on. And they study them, and they realize, and what really matters, what did they realize? They're not there. You study particle physics. No, you don't. There are no particles. That's what science has found. There are no particles. There's wavelets in a field they call the quantum field. Just like if you drop a leaf into a totally still lake, will the lake be still? No, it'll make wavelets. Are they things? Well, they're the field itself. The water itself is behaving in a certain way. That's all that the quantum particles are a behavior pattern of wavelets interacting with each other and behaving a certain way if they interacted. That's what a baby is. Now you go from that to this, because that's what's going on. The Chinese scientists know it, the American scientists know it, the Russian scientists know it. This is known physics. That's the quantum level of what's going on. How dare you not think of that when you look at a baby, when you look in the mirror, because that's what you're looking at. There is no step in between that it becomes something. It's just that, putting itself together based upon the laws. And the next thing you know, that shows up. The outside world shows up. Einstein once said, reality is an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. And you laugh all you want. That's why you get caught. If you woke up in the morning, you weren't where you were in the night, and there were no dressers, and then there was somebody else, and there was nothing, you didn't look the same, and you go, whoa, man, it's just doing its thing, right? You ain't going to get caught. But it looks the same in the morning as it did in the evening. It's not. One of the biggest misunderstandings of religion is that God created the heavens and earth. That is not true. God did not create the heavens and earth. God is creating right now the heaven and earth, or it doesn't exist. If that quantum field stops vibrating, goodbye. Oh, it disappears. Nothing here. How can you not be interested in this? It's reality. Now, I'll tell you how. Because that is reality, and you are intelligent enough to understand that. And that's unbelievable. You evolved from a protozoa, an amoeba, into something that can understand what I'm talking about. That's far out. That's not the outside. I don't understand anything. The fact is, you're conscious. There's two things in the universe: creation and that which is aware of it. You are aware, are you not? So you're inside. Well, first, are you inside? Are you in there? You sure? Prove it. You can't, right? But you know you're in there. You are in there. How do you know? I don't want to talk about it. You know you're in there. You are that you are. How's that? You can't prove you're in there, but you're a conscious being. You're aware. Fine. So now we have awareness, being aware of the moment that's in front of it. That's great. And you have the little period of time you experience that. The big questions are, and I won't answer them. I don't like answering them. Where were you before you were in here? Where will you be after it's no longer here? You'll find out. Okay? And so what's going on is there are these atoms, this creation that has nothing to do with you. I don't know how to talk to you. If you haven't been here for 99.999999999% of its thing, and you'll be here for 0.0, how's that have something to do with you? Well, you admit it has nothing to do with you. You certainly admit that all the places you're not and have never been have nothing to do with you. And that's everything, everywhere, all the time. This is how you liberate yourself. You know what it means to be free. Yes, you can meditate. Yes, you can do mantra. Yes, you can believe in this and believe in that and read this. Fine. The question is, do you realize what I'm telling you? You're in there experiencing a moment in creation, which is enormous. It goes on forever. And you're experiencing it. That's wonderful. That's what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen. The purpose of creation is God wanted to experience himself. Therefore, he vibrated and then looked down. You are that consciousness looking down into what that consciousness created through its vibrations. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Oh, I see. What's a word? A vibration. So what do we get back to? You're in there. Let's get the facts. It's all out there. We know that. It's out there. Big everywhere, right? And you're in here. And you are experiencing what your senses send into you. You have senses because you don't have senses. You can't experience the outside world. It doesn't exist to you. That's what your senses are. Your senses are receivers. They're sensors. I've told you that. Just like a computer has sensors to pick up light and sound and vibration. These are sensors. They pick up the outside world. They send them back to you, who's where? In there. If they didn't do that, you wouldn't know there was an outside world. Literally, you wouldn't even know it was there, ever. But it gets sent back into you. And what happens when it comes back into you? You experience it. Who experiences it? You who's in there experiences it. How's that? Are you in there? This is the most spiritual discussion you'll ever have. Are you in there? Are you sure? Do you experience what comes in through your senses? Of course you do. You don't even know it's there. What's the problem with that? There's this creation that's everywhere, and it's amazing, and there's elephants, and there's dogs, and monkeys, and everything, isn't there? How many things are there? Yet, wherever you are, just you in there is experiencing what you're experiencing. You're experiencing the sky and the clouds and the thing and the dirt, wherever you are, right? So it comes out of many, one. Comes back into one place where you exist, in there. What's the problem with that? Nothing. That is what it's meant to be. That is God experiencing. I want to show you this. You are consciousness's emissary, experiencing the moment of creation that you're experiencing. And no one else is experiencing that moment. And no one ever has, and no one ever will. And you want to be special. I think you're pretty special. One moment in creation. No one else ever saw it. No one else ever will see it from different angles, whatever. And certainly in the linear, through time and space, what you're experiencing, no one else ever experienced. No one else has ever experienced what you've experienced. But then you're pretty special, aren't you? You're literally consciousness's emissary experiencing this moment that consciousness created. So you're in there and you experience creation. It's going on. What's wrong with it? Nothing. Nothing. It exists and you experience it. But that's not what it's like in there, is it? Can we have an honest discussion? That's not quite what it's like in there. I'm here experiencing reality. I'm here experiencing the moments that are being given just for me, specially made just for me. Wow. Those quantum vibrations made all the way up high, and there's a flower right in front of me. Thank you. That's all your life is. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Look at it. Look what's giving to me. Not taking anything from me. It's all free. It's all free. Well, we'll see why you don't think it's free. It's free. You didn't give yourself a body. You don't give yourself air. You don't give yourself anything. The essentials for you to be here, almost every one of them have nothing to do with you. It's just happening by itself. Your heart's beating, your breath's going in and out, your cells are dividing. But I eat food. Yeah, you eat food, and what happens when you swallow it? You don't have any idea, man. You don't do any of it. And something better happened, and you ain't eating no more. It has to break down and digest and then send itself to the blood system and then go there and excrete. You're not doing anything. You have how many cells? Something like 32 trillion living cells make up your body. It's not your body, it's theirs. If they don't do their thing, you ain't here. They take the food and they digest and they pass it and then they feed I can't talk about it. The whole thing takes care of itself. All right. So now what's wrong? What happened? Because it's pretty awesome. There's all kinds of things to see and experience. It's just beautiful. It's fine. Do they all feel the same? No. Snakes are scary and butterflies are fun. But that's fun too. You go to horror shows, you go to movies. There's all kinds of things going on. And it's free. Life is free. I'm sorry. You don't need billions of dollars. Life is free. Your lungs go in and out, don't they? Your heart beats, doesn't it? Your cells divide, don't they? 99.9999999% of it is just happening by itself. It's a gift. And you're just in here experiencing it. You're the experiencer. It's the experience. You're the experiencer. It's the experience. Why does it not feel like that? How come we have these things called problems? I don't see a problem. Like we live out here. It's really beautiful out here. And there's a lot of deer, way more than I've ever seen. There's always deer on their front lawn sleeping. I don't know. Fine. They're big. They're deer and they have babies. And where do they live? Who feeds them? Where's the pet store? They take care of themselves. Everything exists. Everything's happening. And you get to experience the part that you experience. Life is so easy. You look at me. How can this be hard? Is there a moment unfolding in front of you? Do you have to pay for it? No, it's there. The moment is there, doing its thing. Are you aware of it? Yes. Did you have to put money in the till to be aware? No, it's just an experience that you get to have. And there's lots of different, don't worry, it's not boring. There's constantly changing experiences. Will anybody listen to what I'm talking about? You do not have problems. If you have problems, you made them up, and I'll prove that to you. They're not out here. You made them up. What's out here came in through your senses, and you experienced it. Are you okay with that? No. Oh, now we come down to it. What do you mean you're not okay with reality? Yeah, I guess so, because I'm not. I see. So there's something going on inside of you, aside from pure consciousness, awareness of being, which is who you are. And if you weren't there, forget it. Your whole life is about being aware. And then what's out there is happening, man. I told you, it's phenomenal. And it comes in. I'm telling you, look at me for once in your life. Listen to me. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong that there's a planet spinning in the middle of nowhere, holding itself up, floating through empty space with no strings attached. And there's blue water, and there's continents, and there's animals, and there's people. And then there's a whole rest of the universe, what I'm discussing. It's called reality. There it is. And you are the consciousness that is experiencing the reality that exists. I wish I could just sit here and say that to you over and over again, because that's what's going on. You're the consciousness that's experiencing the reality that exists. But then I ask you, is that okay with you? And that's a stupid question, because what is, and what was, and what will be, and it has nothing to do with you. Does it all unfold the way you want it to? Has it all unfolded the way you wanted it to all the time? Well, why does it unfold the way it does? Go study science, study physics, study psychology. There's a thing called cause and effect. One moment generates the next moment, but not just your moment, all the moments. They're just passing through time and space, and they create each other, don't they? And you're the witness. You're the witness of experiencing the reality that's unfolding. Okay, what went wrong? Something went wrong, because it sure don't sound like you have been talking, does it? That you don't have a single problem in the world, you never will, you never did. You just are experiencing the reality that creation created. I'm going to repeat that to you. You in there are experiencing the reality that creation created. You didn't create it. I hope I've convinced you by now. You didn't create a drop of any of it, okay? It's all happening around you, and you're experiencing it, and that's beautiful. Okay, now, again, if I talk a little too close, your mind's going to start. Yeah, but there are wars, and there's death, and my mother died when she was young. Oh, I see. Now we've just brought something else into the equation that maybe we better start talking about. And I can say it with one word: preference. Do you have preferences? Do they make you suffer? That is Buddha's noble truth. His first noble truth. All of life is suffering. That's his first noble truth. All of life is suffering. Maybe you know something about that. Doesn't mean you break your arm every day, but it's kind of tough in there, isn't it? It can get pretty heavy in there, can't it? We'll talk about that in a minute. All of life is suffering. The cause of suffering is preference. Desire, preference, same thing. Is a desire not a preference? A desire comes after the preference. You have a preference, I want it to happen. That's what desire comes from, right? But the root is preference. Isn't that amazing? The cause of suffering is preference. He didn't say death, old age, wars, terrible people. No. One word, preference. If you're in there living, we talked a moment ago, you're just in there, you're in there, experiencing, and you're experiencing the reality that's unfolding, and you're with it, all kinds of stuff's going on. Do lions eat lambs? Okay with you? You have no basis for having a decision. There's nothing. There's just experiencing reality. Are there nice people? Are there not nice people? Are there friendly animals? Are there mean animals? Is there nice weather? Is there scary weather? It's called reality. Just put aside your thoughts of whether you like it or not. That's called preference. So in between the reality you're experiencing, that God is creating through the quantum field, whatever you want to look at it, that comes in through these senses you were given, you get to experience that. But you put something in between. You put I like, I don't like. I want, I don't want. I prefer, I don't prefer. It's right, it's wrong. It's good, it's bad. If you understand anything I've talked about so far, you understand the yin and the yang. You understand the Tao. You understand every single thing there is in the deep teachings. What is this thing you put in between reality and that which experiences reality? In between consciousness and reality stands MIND. Stands what you did. You built something. And let's talk about it. Seriously, I will talk about it. You built something in between the purity of divine consciousness experiencing creation. That's you. That's what's in there. The self, the Atman. In between that and the creation of reality, you built something. How did that happen? Why did I do that? Because it's a problem. The difference between us and a purely highly enlightened being, they don't have that. They can bring it back if they want, but it's not part of their being. They're what's called liberated, free, jiva mukta, enlightened. They woke up. Why did I create this mess inside myself? Mayor Baba said it really beautifully once. He said, I don't know how you can have so much trouble. Nothing that you're dealing with can ever last more than one lifetime. It'll be gone. It's called reality. Again, I'm stressing it. You're in there experiencing creation. What's wrong with that? Who are you to sit there and say that shouldn't have happened? Guess what? It should have. Why? Because it did. Were there causes behind everything that happened? Even things you don't like? Were there causes that caused it to happen? Then you don't get to say it shouldn't have happened. It did. If it happened, it happened. The problem is not that it happened. The problem is your judgment on it. Judge not that ye shall not be judged. That's the Bible. Ending the burdensome process of judging, third Zen patriarch. It all comes down to what did you build in between the experience of consciousness, experiencing reality. And don't you dare tell me it's not reality. Has anything ever happened in your life that you don't like? How did you decide? Ready? I made it up. You made what up? You didn't make up the event. You made up whether you liked it or not. That which he loves, he can't stand. That which he loved yesterday, he don't want to think about ever again for the rest of his life. You're making this up. In that area in between awareness of being, the witness consciousness, and the reality of life, which we already said to you is happening by itself, it's happening. You built this thing. Now, how did you do that? Not everything feels the same. We know that. A coiled up rattlesnake rattling, and a butterfly flying around, they don't have the same vibration. In the Buddhist tradition, they say very beautifully, they said, everything has its nature. Everything has its nature. Everything. All right? Clouds of different shapes, colors, this, that, rain, wind, hurricanes, storms, tornadoes, calm. It has a vibration. It gives off a vibe. It all gives off energy. So when it comes in, it's not just a physical aspect that you perceive. You also feel its nature. Can you walk into a house where people have been arguing and know they've been arguing, even though they put a smile on their face when you walk in? Can somebody be telling you something and you just feel it's like, that ain't true, right? It has vibes. They come in. Are you okay with that? Not just are you okay with the physical, it comes into the senses, but the whole nature of the whole thing comes in, right? Are you okay with that? And I know you want to say no, but I want to tell you, you have no right not to be okay with it because it's part of reality. The rattlesnake is rattling. It's giving off these heavy, heavy vibes. Get away from me, it's saying, all right? And the butterfly, don't you like me, right? And yes, that's what it is. Is that okay with you? And guess what? At some point, this is the fall from the garden, all right? It's just consciousness, God, experiencing creation, God. That's what's going on. And then the vibe comes in, and what happens is, I'm not going to explain the whole thing because it can't be explained, but you can get real close. You meditate deep enough and you watch carefully. The vibration distracts your consciousness. That's a word that I've come to understand is very spiritual, distraction. Does a rattlesnake distract you? Or is it just the same as the grass where it's sitting next to it? No. It pulls your consciousness down into it. Doesn't really, your consciousness is back here. It's like a light. But it focuses, doesn't it? Does it not focus on certain things? It does that, doesn't it? It focuses on strong vibrations, strong positive, strong negative, or if they last a long time, it tends to distract. What is focus? Distraction. That's what focus is. I want to do math in my head. You have to focus. And that's, you're not getting distracted by what was distracting you. It pulls your consciousness down into it. When it does that, it creates a force, a power. It's called the power of will. That's where it comes from. Consciousness is God. Consciousness has power. Wherever you focus your consciousness. I give the example of a magnifying glass that we take out to the field. Nice, good magnifying glass. I have to explain myself clearer than I usually do, right? Don't look through the magnifying glass, because then you'll see magnification. Look on the ground under the magnifying glass, and you're going to see that the light that was everywhere is now focused on one spot on that ground. Where'd that intense, bright spot come from? It'll burn you, right? It can set leaves on fire. Well, it wasn't that way a minute ago. It was just light everywhere. Focus. It focused the light, and the light became power. Tremendous power at that point of focus. So when you get distracted by something that comes in, you back there, you, Atman, consciousness, gets pulled down, it gets caught. It creates a power so that now the rattlesnake came in, it was just a vibration, but it didn't go through. It didn't pass right through. Why? Because you focused on it and created that power. The power of focused consciousness held on to it. And it held on to it after it was gone. Is it not true that the rattlesnake's there, you're experiencing it, and then it crawls away? Did it leave an impression? Oh, might you not like rattlesnakes very much anymore? Might you be afraid where you walk from now on? Might, if I say to you, want to go for a walk in the woods, might you say no? It stayed, didn't it? It didn't pass through like everything else, like the white lines on the road. It's like people you don't know that walk by. 99.9999% of it didn't stay. It came in and went by. But that which distracted your consciousness enough that you focused on it, that act of focusing stops it and makes an impression in this area between your consciousness and what comes in from the outside world, which we now call mind. The Buddhists call empty mind. That doesn't mean you're stupid. It means it's not full of rattlesnakes. It's not full of stuff that's not there anymore. It's supposed to go right through. All of creation passes right through the consciousness that is experiencing it. It's just coming in and passing through. You can bring it back if you want, but it didn't leave some lasting impression that keeps coming back to haunt you. In other words, it not just comes back to haunt you, you created a world in there. A world of rattlesnakes and people who were nice and people that were mean. And somebody said something yesterday, I don't know, like it. You stopped what came in and was supposed to pass through, held on to it, called clinging. You held on to it, kept it in this area, and that's where it is. It's the area between pure consciousness, the experiencer, and what it's experiencing. That's yoga. When the experiencer and the experience become one. It's like, you heard words like that, right? So you are the experiencer, it's the experience. They merge, they're one, they're the same. There are times in your life, every one of you, not often, that you have had an experience so deep, so powerful, that you couldn't come down and focus on it. It blew you away. Maybe you turned the corner and a sunset was setting. It was so, oh my God, all the colors. And for a moment, you weren't there. You say things like, it touched me to the core of my being. Have you ever touched the core of your being? You're not coming down to it and holding it. I'm going to hold it so it touches me to the core of my being. No, you came down. That's not the core of your being anymore. It's when it comes all the way up by itself and merges into the ocean of consciousness that you say things like, it felt like I was in the presence of God. A hug can do that, can't it? But even that, to be honest, not that often. Because you can't let it in, because it hits your stuff. You say things like, well, I don't know. You never close your eyes when I kiss your lips. In other words, I want it to be the way it was last time when it really touched the core of my being. But now I'm waiting for it to be like that. Therefore, it can't be like that, because I put something in between. Does anybody understand? What did you put in between? You held on to an experience that touched the core of your being, and you created this thing called desire and preference. I want it to happen again. And that's what's happening. And you do that throughout your life. Different things distract your consciousness. What do you see how it multiplies? I'll start with just a snake distracted your consciousness. Nothing else. Everything else. White lines, clouds, everything else just passed right through. Then all of a sudden you go into a house where my friend had a baby and you got a rattle. Oh, I see. So that snake's still in there. Or you see a coiled rope. Does it do that? Yes or no? Because you held it in there, it starts determining what you like and don't like. I don't want to be around with his babies making rattles. I'll go in your house, and now the baby has a rattle. I'm afraid of the rattle. And I don't want to see coiled ropes. Don't do that. And I don't think it's a joke when you throw those Halloween snakes at me. See what I'm saying? You held it in there. And now it became your life. Literally. You can't walk in the woods. One thing you held in there did that. But then it multiplies because you held that. Then you don't like babies. Then you don't like rattles. Then I don't want to get married. Why don't you want to get married? I've never really thought about it much. Like, why don't you want to get married? Well, because when you get married, you tend to have babies. Well, what's wrong with having babies? I don't know. Don't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I've never talked about it. Well, why don't you have babies? They have rattles. Babies can have rattles. Well, what's wrong with rattles? No. I don't like rattles. I don't like rattles. Determines your whole life. I only slightly exaggerated. I'd like to get married to George, right? Why aren't you? Well, he's got this job, a really good job in Arizona. A lot of rattlesnakes in Arizona. And I am not kidding. Do you hear me? You have made a mess in there. And don't you dare tell me life did it. Life just did its thing everywhere, all over the place. And you just happen to be standing there when that thing took place. Right? I try to tell you how tenuous this is. When you go out to the field, at the moment that you were about to encounter a rattlesnake, a friend of yours called and said, "Oh, look over here." And you never saw a snake. That's how tenuous your life is. All of a sudden, now you're not getting married. You don't have babies. Please extrapolate that out a little bit. It's ridiculous what we've done, isn't it? It's unbelievable what a mess we made inside ourselves. And we made that mess. And don't you dare tell me mommy did it, daddy did it, the boyfriend did it. They did what they did. And you're the one that couldn't handle it. Because if you could handle it, you'd go right through. But you got distracted by it enough to where you held on to it. And that's the point where I always say to you, because you're very intelligent people, isn't it really intelligent to hold on to that which bothered you the most for the rest of your life and then make them additive? Have you done that? Yes, you have done that. Okay? So spirituality is about not doing that. But that's quite a path along the windy road, because we've done this, haven't we? Every moment of our lives. My sister got the bicycle that I wanted. I don't like bicycles. I don't like my sister. I don't like my parents. Laugh all you want while you go to a shrink. Is that not why you need therapy? Because you held that stuff in there? You can't get it out? What happens when it tries to come back out? What happens when 3 years later, you haven't seen a snake for 3 years, somebody starts talking about a rattlesnake? You get scared. Your whole life is now made up of preferences. I don't want this. I like that. Well, why do the things I like? Oh, I'm going to be bad. We're talking. We're having our session. Well, why are the things that I like a problem? Well, they're not. This is where I'm at. Like, if you can handle the stuff you didn't like and let it go, mazel tov. Good. We'll work with later. But things you cling to that you like, look at me, cause just as much trouble, just as much, I'll show you in a moment, as the things you clung to because you didn't like them. What do you mean? Go to a restaurant, have the most amazing meal you have ever had. Unbelievable. And it was so perfect. The music was exactly the songs that you like, and nobody was smoking, and nobody was talking too loud, and the waiter was phenomenal. Okay? Don't go back. I'm going to give you advice. Do not go back, because it's not going to be the same, is it? And you can say things like, well, last time, well, the music, oh, they weren't smoking. Oh, and by the way, if you go back, don't bring your friends. You can't believe what this restaurant's like. And the menu was phenomenal. Well, they're going to have a different menu. They have different specials, had a different chef, had a different waitress, right or wrong. Come on, have you been there? It's never the same. It can't be the same. No two atoms are in the same place ever. But you set up an expectation. I like this. And by the way, I've been very nice to talk about food in the restaurant. Let's talk about our relationships. Do they always turn out the way you want them to be? Does everybody end up acting exactly the way you treat you the way you want to be treated and say what they want to say when you want to say it? But you want them to, don't you? But it doesn't feel like you love me like you used to. Like when you used to say it, it just really touched me really deep. And it just says, I'm not sure you love me anymore. Well, of course you can't feel it the same, because you're waiting to feel it the same, because you're comparing it. You have this preference. So positive experiences screw you up too. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have them. You should have them and enjoy them and let them go. You all make albums. I know there's a thing called albums, like your wedding, and you just try to take pictures of things that you want to happen again, things that you liked. Why don't you like everything? Make a real album. You can't hold it. It's everywhere. Every moment of your entire life is an experience, is a gift. It's special. It is so. You made it not special by either clinging to it because you liked it or clinging to it because you didn't like it. Don't worry about the like it part. Just forget I talked about it. That's postgraduate school. But I want to talk to you about the fact that you store what you didn't like, don't you? You store what you didn't like. What do you think it's going to be like inside if you store inside, in between the space between your consciousness and reality, you stored every single thing that ever bothered you, and you did. If somebody you like, you say hello to them today. Hey, Sally, how you doing? And she keeps walking. You're bothered. Why should I know? What did I do? It's not just big things. The big things, well, they're phenomenal. Every little thing bothers you. That is the fall from the garden. Preference. The fact that you can't handle and appreciate and respect and love reality. It's a gift. It's a phenomenal thing. A little tiny planet in the middle of nowhere. I always tell you, 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. This thing, a little tiny little thing floating out there. Wow! Would rather be on Mars? Wonder how long that'll last. It's an exciting place. It's a happening place, is it not? But it's not the way you want it to be, is it? Well, where'd you come up with what you want it to be? Do you know? Do you know where you got your preferences? You didn't make them up. They're past experiences that you had. So you had an experience and you stored it as good, bad, right, wrong, better, worse, believe, don't believe. There's all kinds of junk. You labeled everything that went in there and you stored it. You made a storehouse of your mind. Your mind's supposed to be thinking about the universe and its quantum vibrations and medicine and air conditioning, and your mind's a phenomenon. And rocket ships go fly to the moon. We're about to go back to the moon, all right? Where'd that rocket ship come from? Your mind made it. Your mind. Not Einstein's mind. Your mind. The human mind made all this, didn't it? Okay? Doesn't matter if you personally did. You have a phenomenal mind. The possum didn't make it, did it? What are you doing with that mind that can do anything at any time? OMG. What you have done with that mind, I don't think I want to keep talking. You made a flaming mess, didn't you? By storing over and over again every single experience you had that you didn't like, you stored it in there, and you put them all together, you built an ego. Here I am, I'm the person who likes this and doesn't like that. I had this experience and that experience. That's who you are. No, it is not who you are. Those are experiences you had, but you stored them and you built a fake you inside. It's called a self-concept. What is a concept? Something that's not real. You build a concept of yourself made out of the things you didn't like and you did like. This is who I am. I'm the person that got divorced when I was this and then I married this friend. No, you're not. Those are experiences you had. They're not who you are. They're experiences you had. You had tons of them. Enjoy them. Let them go. Learn from them. Grow. Experience. Earth is a place that souls are sent to evolve. Let's do that again. Earth is a place where souls are sent to evolve. What does it mean to evolve? To grow, to learn, to open, to be free, to grow to God, be liberated, to evolve inside. This stuff you're doing in there is not very evolved, is it? And it causes tremendous suffering. So you wake up. You do not have any problems. You've never had any problems. Who decides what your problems are? You. Right? When I went to have my hair done, they cut it. It's at least 1/4 of an inch too short of what I wanted. Well, the color of the cabinets aren't exactly what I want. I want a little bit more oak color. Should I redo them? I don't know. It's a problem. Who said it was a problem? You did. The husband or wife came home and had a bad day, and they marched into the house and closed the door and went into the bedroom and slammed it. And I wanted to have a nice dinner. Is that a problem? No, it's an experience. But boy, no, you will not treat me like that. You are not going to ignore me like that. I worked all day and did this. What's the matter with you? The guy or the gal had a hard day. When they come out, love them. Be understanding. Be open. That's what Christ meant by turning the other cheek. He didn't mean literally somebody slaps you in the face. Let it go. I teach let it go, don't I? Isn't that what turning the other cheek is? Let it go. And so again, you think you have problems. And that's exactly where they come from. Thinking. There was a guy in the 60s, Sufi Sam, don't know. He used to hang out with Ram Dass, right? He had a saying, you get more stinking from thinking than you can from drinking. You get yourself pretty stewed up, can't you? Or, and now we'll close it, or, ready? Learn to let go. Now you understand what letting go means. Did it happen? Yes. Is that okay with you? Yeah, what the hell? The driver in front of you driving, it happens to me. So somebody was turning out of a subdivision onto a 55-mile-an-hour road, and they turned, and they shouldn't have turned that early, but it's okay. I didn't mind, right? They turned, and 25 miles an hour. They're going down that road. Okay with you? Yeah. Are things okay with you? They happened. They happen. So you have to start with acceptance. Now, I've just taught you everything I teach. Acceptance, surrender, letting go. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you don't do anything. It means when it comes in, it came in. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It came in. Worship it, honor it, respect it, learn from it, grow from it, evolve from it. Do something great inside yourself instead of making more of a mess. Now, the final statement. Does that mean I just sit here and do nothing? Of course not. You're part of life. It's an interaction. You're part of God's creation. You have what's called your dharma. There are things that are meant for you to be interacting with, but you can't if you're busy stopping everything, busy storing everything you didn't like from before. How can you see what you're supposed to be doing? You can't. It's just a storehouse of I don't want, and I'm afraid I don't want to get a job because I got fired last time, but I have to have money. Oh my, what am I going to do? I got my job and money. Like, oh, what are you doing? That's not your dharma. I'll tell you that right now. You know what your dharma is? It's a very great word, dharma. I don't know if we have a translation of that in English, all right? But what dharma means, if there wasn't something in there doing stuff about everything, what would you be doing? You know what you find out? You'd be getting up in the morning. Why? Because I woke up. You'd be brushing your teeth. Why? Because it tastes weird. You'd be eating some breakfast. You'd be going to work and looking forward to every single moment. Looking forward to brushing teeth, looking forward to waking up, looking forward to driving the kid to soccer, looking forward to every single thing that takes place. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Not what you want to be doing and what you don't want to be doing. Those are your past experiences having left impressions in your mind. Otherwise, it's just being. And so, yes, you go to work, and yes, you have children, and yes, you get married, and yes, you get divorced. And yes. Wow, bring it on. I love it. Bring it on. And put your whole heart and soul into it. If you're getting married, put your whole heart and soul into it. Don't go there and say, gee, I don't know if I should be getting married. I don't know. I'm too young. Well, that's a stupid way to get married. All right? You get married, just put your whole being into it with no question at all. Although you shouldn't be getting married. You love that much, right? When you're getting divorced, oh, God, have a great divorce, right? Put your whole heart and soul into doing the best you can to say we loved each other and now we don't. So let's have a beautiful split up. Let's at least have it end with a beautiful vibe, right? It's your dharma. It's not anything's right or wrong or good or bad. It's where you're coming from when you do it. And if you're coming from your ego, and I just defined who the ego was, the sum of your learned experiences, all right, well, your preference, like if you're coming from your ego, it's a problem, okay? So spirituality is about letting go inside and serving outside. You get to a point where you no longer ever think about what do I like, what do I not like, what do I want, what do I not want. It's all, how can I serve? How can I raise what's passing before me? Can I bring some good energy into it Doesn't matter whether I like it or don't like it, whether I believe in it or don't believe in it. It's way past that. It's, I'm in here. How can I help? All right. Will you work on these things? Jagged.
You've been listening to the Michael Singer Podcast, produced by Sounds True in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information on Michael's body of work and all back episodes, please join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening. Sounds True, waking up the world.